do you guys build the future of learning and work? And I thought it might be helpful to give just a brief client example or two in Gallaudet University and Laurent Clerc National Deaf Education Center. We really started working with them this past April in readying them for this fall and kind of reopening. And their needs are not dissimilar to a lot of organizations right now. They want to understand best practice research. They want to look at their policies and refine them. They want to look at how their content strategy is differentiated between physical, virtual, and blended environments. Certainly, they wanted their materials tailored to their community and support in training and comms and implementation. So at Setzer Group, we attack that through an engagement and project management team. That team works with researchers, designers, whatever technologies the particular organization has. Certainly brings in translation services for Spanish and looks at translation services for ASL. In this case, also supporting administration and working with the intelligence community of the CDC, the consortium of universities around DC, and DC Health to make sure that direction, alignment, and commitment is there across all stakeholders. Our process involves, rapid iterative research, working that research into policy and protocol development, working with the leadership teams to review that, look for gaps, to visualize those communications so that communications and training becomes part of the story that we want all to inhabit as we re-enter the workforce and re-enter campuses through COVID. And then finally, support on implementation around all that. So some examples of what we worked on were about 16 different work streams. We use an agile sort of design sprint process that's been modified from a lot of different influences, but we had to, very quickly and iteratively understand different levels of health and safety, buildings and operations, how we thought about student life, areas such as vaccination, student health services, and also thinking deeply about everything from athletics to the community. So one of the ways that you can centralize that is to think about a return to campus website uplift, to think about constant contact communications and how you utilize text and mobile messaging. There's all kinds of ways to get the word out in very simplistic ways to be consistent with what you're trying to communicate. But it's also important to be highly visual and design oriented. So whether you're talking about buses or meals in the cafeteria, to engage your community around safety, around how they re-enter learning environments, and what they need to know and be able to do to be successful and to be in partnership with you. I think it's real important to visually tell that story. And then finally, make it ongoing, make it just in time, give people options in this busy world of looking at learning modules that have accessible content, that, decide what content's required, what's optional. Think about how you're going to look at that data and understand how many of your community members have been informed, who still needs to know. What if people already know some of these solutions? How can they become ambassadors for others? So this is work that we've been doing not just with Gallaudet University and Claire, but other educational organizations to help them re-enter smarter, re-enter more healthy, and to really utilize tools to change the dynamic of their future of learning and future of work. Hopefully this has been a helpful vignette to help our listeners and our followers understand what Setzer Group does. Have a wonderful day.